Rhea Ripley fans will be disappointed if they expect this to happen. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that expectation is and why fans think that it could actually happen. And I don't even blame y'all for thinking it, but I just need to spell it out for you, evidently. Look, Rhea Ripley is back on top on Monday Night Raw as our Women's World Champion. Thank the good Lord, because Rhea Ripley is a megastar. You know it, I know it, the fan base knows it. She is back on top, obviously beating Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship on Raw on Netflix premiere earlier this month. Now, since then, she's been in this weird feud with Nia Jax, as case in point on display at Saturday night's main event on January 25th. Now, obviously, Rhea Ripley, she went over Nia Jax. It was a fun match. It was the opener of Saturday night's main event, kicking off 2025. And Rhea Ripley finds herself in this weird dynamic, and I'm sure WWE will fill in the holes as to what her next feud is, but I also think there is something in which we need to discuss. We can't put it any further out than this, because Rhea Ripley, we know, has been discussed for some potential interesting contests. And as you look at the landscape of Monday Night Raw, she has a lot of interesting dance partners that she can work with, right? So now we have Bayley on Monday Night Raw, and we know Becky Lynch is eventually going to be on Monday Night Raw when she returns. You could always have someone transfer over into the transfer window from SmackDown to Friday Night SmackDown to Monday Night Raw, which is something that Nia Jax did, and that's one of the reasons why she got this championship match at Saturday night's main event. They have history. Obviously, they headlined Elimination Chamber last year in Australia at Rhea Ripley's hometown, and it was someone for her to beat. We know why they did that match. So as we look at the past, we're also starting to look at the future. Now, coming out of Saturday night's main event, Rhea Ripley dropped a very, very interesting comment that has everyone talking, and they're like losing their minds over it, and I wanted to discuss it in today's video. So Rhea Ripley did a post-event interview, right? It was posted on WWE Social and WWE's YouTube channel, and it featured an interview with Rhea. Now, one of the interviewers pointed out that Rhea doesn't have a match at the Royal Rumble. As of the recording of this video, keep in mind this was recorded on Sunday morning, so just keep that in mind. That's beside the point. And that she could always throw herself in the Royal Rumble as the champion, which is an interesting dynamic. Now, WWE has had the WWE Championship defended in the Royal Rumble. They've had champions crowned in the Royal Rumble. I think the last time they did that was 2016. Someone will correct me down in the comments area below, but I think it was 2016. I think it was the one that Triple H won the title, but I digress. I think that was the vacant Royal Rumble. I digress. Anyways, in response, Rhea Ripley hinted at potentially competing in the men's Royal Rumble match, as she said, maybe I'll be in the men's one. Now, that's all she said, but everyone has lost their minds. They're like, oh my gosh, Chyna's done it. Freaking Nia Jax has done it. Beth Phoenix has done it. Oh my, she could do it. She could do it. She could enter the men's Royal Rumble match. I mean, hey, there's no reason why she should be in the women's Royal Rumble match. She's already got the championship. Was she gonna earn the right to not have a title match at WrestleMania? Why wouldn't she want a title match at WrestleMania? She's a babyface. That makes no sense. Oh my goodness. And everyone's like, well, the men's Royal Rumble. Yeah, she could enter the men's Royal Rumble. And I go, but why? Why would she do that? Why would that make sense? And if you're from WWE standpoint, why would you do that to her? That's a disservice to her. Now hear me out. When Chyna did it, or Beth Phoenix did it, or Nia Jax did it. Beth Phoenix, it was more of a shock. Chyna, it was just at that time and place. And Nia Jax going into the match, well, why did they do that? Well, Nia Jax was a heel. No one liked her. And what did she get? She took finisher after finisher after finisher. Orton hit his finisher. Rey Mysterio hit the 619. It was as a celebration of like, oh my God, we cannot stand this person. Look at her. She's getting her comeuppance, right? With Rhea Ripley, number one, she has no reason to be in the match. She's already a women's world champion. Number two, she's a babyface champion. And number three, she's one of your most over acts. So despite the fact that you would get the initial pop of, oh my God, Rhea Ripley's in the men's Royal Rumble match. Can you believe this? Then what? Where do you go from there? She's not winning the match. It doesn't even make sense. Are you just doing it for a pop? Okay, let's say we're doing it for a pop. Woo, we get a pop. What happens next? Oh, she gets eliminated. Is she really going to go in there and she's going to throw out 10 people? Is that what's going to happen? Do you expect that to happen? Because I don't. Why would they do that? WWE, if you've noticed in the last few years under Triple H's regime, they have cut way back on having legends in these matches, especially the men's Royal Rumble match. The women's, they still kind of filter them in because they don't have a lot of well-known talent. Even NXT, bringing up NXT talent, they don't have a ton of well-known talent in the women's division yet. They're still building on that, and I think they're doing a fantastic job. So you'll bring in more legends. But in the men's Royal Rumble match, they're trying to get talent, their existing talent base, over. Even The Undertaker said on his podcast recently that the more that he is not used on WWE television, the better, because that means that WWE is shifting its focus towards its current talent, in which is going to be there week in, week out, is going to make all the towns, going to make all the media, and it's building to the future, right? Are you really going to have Hulk Hogan come out there at 90? Like, what are we doing? Under Vince McMahon, it was always, well, we got to bring back the old guys because the young guys can't do it. Well, hey, man, why don't you focus on your young guys first and try to get them over and sprinkle in old guys and not have them in main event spots, right? It's basic psychology. You have an established star versus a guy that's on the cusp or a gal that's on the cusp. You have those two stars work regardless of the finish, as long as you can bring the under talent to the same level as a main event guy or a main event talent or a top tier talent. Then it elevates the second guy, and boom, instead of having one main eventer, instead of having one top star, you have two top stars, and then you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it, and therefore it is built up. And so instead of having two main event stars, you now have six, right? And you interchange them, and that's how you do it. You save main event versus main event for premium live events, and you save main event versus top tier star or about to be on that for television or whatnot, right? Or interchangeable feuds and whatnot. Rhea Ripley doesn't need to be beat. Protect her. Have her in the... It's very simple. You want Rhea Ripley on the show? Have her in the Skybots. Have her watch the Women's Royal Rumble match. Whoever wins the match, unless it's Charlotte Flair... If it's someone from Monday Night Raw that's going to win it and challenge Rhea Ripley, if that's who they're going to do, then you just simply have Rhea in a press box and you have the person point at Rhea and Rhea looks serious, or she's laughing, or she's telling them to bring it on, or whatever you can do. And then you move on. And that's all you do. And that's how you get Rhea Ripley on the show. And that's how you get over her match at WrestleMania. You're building towards the future. You're not just doing just a lame pop for literally 10 seconds, right? You build towards the future. You don't take a shortcut. You get to where you need to go, not where this hypothetical weirdness comes from. Also, can we knock off intergender matches? They're not very good anyways.